Welcome back to part two of this week's show, this Thursday night, Talking Sheffield here on Sheffield Live TV. We're talking an extraordinary feat of endurance, an extraordinary feat of marathon running, by way of something completely different in the second part of tonight's show. Thanks to Laurie Madden for debriefing on Sheffield Wednesday in part one. We will have one or two shows of special interest to Sheffield United supporters as well coming up as we move on through the summer. And we're not taking a summer break, by the way, until July, and then you'll get one or two repeats. And by that time in July, this man's going to be very busy. Not that he hasn't been busy for many weeks and months already. Ray Matthews, 75 years old this summer. The plan merely is to run 75 marathons in 75 days. Who on earth dreamt that up? Where did that come from?
Yeah, it was a sort of dream. Yeah,
Was
like
it?
my dream. It came after an extreme distance that I did, and my thoughts were, what do I do next? Because the extreme distance that I ran didn't flatten me, for want of a better word.
What was the extreme distance?
150 mile
At one go?
in one go, yeah.
Where was that?
In and around Rotherham, there is a race every year in Rotherham. It's called the Rowbothams Round Rotherham. It's an international event. You get runners from all over the world taking part. It's a 50-mile circumference of Rotherham, takes in all the trails, and it the extremity of it is that it goes out towards Furbeck, comes back through Maltby, ends back up at where it started from at Manvers. And I had 2 years before that I'd run it twice and did 100 mile, and I just needed, that weren't enough, so I needed to see if I could tackle 150. So what I did, I sandwiched the main race between starting on Friday and finishing on Sunday morning.
So when everybody else set off,
I'd already done 50.
You'd already done 50 miles. You'd already done it.
Yeah.
So you go and do it again
Yep.
with all the competitors.
Yep.
They're exhausted. They finish in a heap, and you go and do it again.
Yes.
Third circuit.
Yeah.
On your own.
Well, no, well, on my own running, but not on my own because I had friends and colleagues that came out to meet me through the 2 nights at various places to feed and water me.
Right.
And tell me new jokes, so it keep me going. And without these guys, you can't do it. I would be carrying far too much food and water.
Well, that's that's an extreme achievement in itself. But you're then thinking, what next?
That's right, yeah. So. The idea is, I suppose, in reality, I've always been looking for the edge. I'm looking for the thing that takes me to the edge that says, that's it. I've achieved everything I can get out of.
And is this it? Is this the edge?
I don't know. I'm hoping it is. I think my wife's hoping it is as well.
Yeah, but if you do this one, and you tell me that you will, you're going to be sitting there again thinking, well, what next?
Yeah, possibly. But what's happening over this past couple of years since I dreamt up this 75 marathons is the fact that I've never ever considered age at all. It never comes into the equation at all. If I think I can do it, I can. But this stems back from when I was a young lad. These achievements have been put into me from when I was little. I was very, very fortunate where I met 2 amazing guys, and these were my boxing coaches. So from being 10-year-old, I have had the influences of some incredible people that didn't just teach me how to box, but they taught me about me. They taught me about the basics in life that I would need. They taught me how to analyse what were going off, how to get inside myself, to understand, and the disciplines, the motivation, everything was just sort of bred into me. And these two guys at the minute
Yeah.
are uttermost. They're there. I can feel them. I can hear them. When things are getting tough, when your body's telling you it's enough's enough.
You've got their voices.
I can feel them.
Yeah.
I can hear them.
Yeah.
I can hear everything that was said.
There's more to this, and we'll talk about the physical, personal endurance aspect as we go on. But there's more to this than that. The organisation.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're going to run your first one on the 2nd of July, and then back to back for the next 75 days.
Yeah.
So is it the same course that
No.
you're going to do?
No. My friends, and over the years you do meet some incredible people. Running fraternity is amazing. There's some fantastic people. And no matter where you go in the world, no matter what start line you stand on, there's always somebody I know. It seems that way anyway.
Yeah.
Even when I'm out running in deserts or marathons in exotic places, there's always somebody that you know. And what's happening, the local running clubs around South Yorkshire into Nottinghamshire, they are putting on a marathon for me around their areas. I don't know where I'm going to be running, to be honest. I shall just turn up and they'll have got the routes planned out for me.
So you've got a diary of places and times where you've got to be from that 2nd of July onwards.
Yeah.
And you've no idea where but these local running clubs have mapped out a 26.2 mile course in each case. Well, and that I mean, that's a fair old effort they've gone to, because that's not easy, is it?
Yeah.
Really. Although some of them might be established courses, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, like me, if somebody asked me to plan a course, I can just take it out now and run 26.2 mile, because we're that used to running these mapped out routes. They're old traditional routes.
Okay.
So, for instance, as you know, as a runner, you will know how far it is from here to a certain point.
Absolutely.
So in your training for your...
Half marathons, only half marathons, let me tell you.
So in the
and then
training,
only every couple of months or 3 months.
You will know, you'll have been told that you need to run at least a 10-mile run, I've no doubt.
Yes, yes.
Now you will know where that 10 mile takes you to and back.
Yeah, yeah.
As a marathon runner or a distance runner, we know where that 20 mile is, that 22 mile, where that 26 mile is.
Is this all daytime?
No, no.
Some of these are at night.
One of them is going to be starting at midnight.
Right.
So I'm going in that particular day, which is a Saturday, I will be running one that Kimbo Striders are putting on for me. And that's probably going to take me with the talking around down Blackburn Meadows and on the towpaths around that area. So I'll finish that one, then at a minute past midnight I'll be running Team Manvers run, which is a 12-hour race. So I will be joining the 12-hour race runners to run that Sunday's marathon.
Yeah, but you won't, on this occasion, you'll be doing less than them, because you're not going to do the 12.
Well, I'm just going to run a marathon.
How long does that take you normally?
Well, I mean, the idea is that none of these are races.
No.
I've got to be conscious of, again, as you'll probably understand, not tomorrow or the day after, but the day after that. So depending on the severity of the climbing, how much effort's got to be put into it will depend on how much effort I put into that particular one.
Yes.
It's all about recovering.
In anticipation of a very hilly one, for instance, you're going to think, well, I need to do this really conservatively because tomorrow or the next day I've got this, 1,000-foot climb on this route or something like that. And some of these you're going to be running pretty much on your own, aren't you? Just you and...
Some of them I will be, yes, and that's going to be great. There's lots that I'm going to be running with loads of people around me. And it's not that I'm antisocial, but there will be days when it will be nice just to go out with a referee, as it were, on a bike beside of me, and just chilling out, and just letting it happen and just running.
because it can be exhausting. Certainly on the events that I do, I hear people in animated conversations, and that makes me feel tired.
Yes,
because I haven't got anything left over to speak.
Yeah.
It does, honestly.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But you can obviously converse with people on the way around it.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I am a loner in many ways. Long distance runners are. You can set off with 100 runners in a race, and in next to no time you are on your own.
Yeah.
So my idea always is that you've got to learn to like yourself a lot. Because if you don't, you're in bad company for a long time, aren't you?
Well, you're craving that actually in these heavily populated events, very popular events. You're looking forward to that time, 4 or 5 miles into it, where you do get a pocket of space and you just be by yourself. I identify with that.
And especially on these extreme distances.
Yeah.
Where you quickly part.
What are you thinking then? What do you think? Because it's a long time. Each one of these is going to be for hours long. What are you thinking?
Often I don't really understand what I'm thinking. It's just you get into like a zone. It's hard to it's not hard to explain it. You're just in another space, literally. And maybe there's thousands of things that go through your mind.
You're not listening to music or anything?
No. And it's this, what I've just said to you, you have to be happy in your own company. So you have to be content that you're running along, things are working nicely, and the quicker you get into that zone, the better it is, because you can run for miles after miles after miles and not even realise where you are sometimes. Often when I'm out training, I'll get to a point and think, wow, what have I got here?
Yeah. A bit like those of us who drive, though. All of us drive.
You learn to switch off. You learn to just relax with it.
What about the pain, though, and the endurance? Because, I have run a marathon, so I know what it feels like. And the next day, it was as if my legs were being held together by Meccano. It was as much as I could do to walk from here just across the room. Yeah. It was really, really painful. So how are you going to cope with that?
I don't know. Each of us are individual. I must have an ability to either get shut of the lactic acid out of my muscles quickly, or that I don't create the lactic acid in the amount that a lot of people do. Now, most people will tell you that know me. After I've run a marathon, 2 or 3 hours later, I could go off again. I can have a bit of soreness, which is understandable, but I'm not have to walk backwards upstairs, and I see people, and it's so funny. I feel for them because I can see what they're going through, but it doesn't affect me in that way. I feel what I do I should be doing, because I feel so blessed that I have this ability to be able to do this. And I would, without sounding facetious, just be able to run a marathon almost at any time.
Almost in your sleep, you could do that.
Yeah, but I don't want that to sound as though it's
no.
I'm not trivialising it. It's very hard. My body at 18 miles, like everybody else, it's telling me to quit. It's saying, don't you think that's enough? But there's a way of getting through that. There's a way of dealing with that. And this is where we go back to when I was a little lad again. Understanding what's going off in your body. You learn to analyse what's happening.
But at 18 miles, are you not, on any given day, say it's day 39, and this is 75 days, folks, 75 consecutive days of running a marathon. Are you not going to be day 39, 18 miles, hit the wall again, got to get through? You're not thinking, I've got to do this again tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, this is the difference, isn't it? I understand the biggest problem I have is the mental attitude to get up every morning and go out and run a marathon. Now, this is what's bred in me, I feel. This is the difference.
What about the boredom?
Well, it's never boring. I don't get bored running. I'm not bored. There's so much going off around you if you look around you. I love running off-road. I'd rather run off-road, although it's much, much easier on road.
Yeah.
I have fantastic gear, sponsored by brilliant people that are looking after my needs. If I've got a pair of shoes that don't feel like they're full of bounce, I can just sling them now. So 120 quid shoes, just, it's...
Yeah. I bet you get through a few.
Well, I will do eventually, yeah. I mean, I feel, I feel like I should make a pair of running shoes last me all year, but...
About a week?
But they won't, yeah, a fortnight, I think.
A fortnight per pair of shoes, running shoes.
Yeah.
So we're talking here, 75 days is what, 2.5 months?
Yeah.
So we're talking
September.
So we're talking 6 or so pairs of running shoes there, aren't we?
Yep.
Something like that. 6 or 7.
And what they're all doing is they're supplying me with an extra couple of pair that are half a size bigger if we do get any extreme hot weather, which I'm likely to get.
That's what I was going to say.
In France, because I am doing 2 of these marathons in France.
Are you?
Yep.
Whereabouts?
In Saint-Quentin, it sounds like. It's the twin town with Rotherham.
Uh-huh.
And over the years we've formed a relationship with the town running club. It's quite a big running club. And I've been invited over to do the 50th and the 51st one in France.
Right.
So that weekend, logistically, is really going to be an awkward one.
But you've got a big support team around you?
Wonderful, yeah. Physios, 24/7. My own doctor, I think he's an hypochondriac. I get more tests via him just to make sure that everything's right. I've just recently had x-rays through all my joints.
And these people are putting their time in voluntarily as a support?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nutritionists.
Yeah.
Just people have volunteered. It's amazing. And I feel humbled that there's so many people that are willing to put that amount of effort into helping me to make sure that I achieve.
Yeah, Team Matthews.
And that's what it's all about.
Why on earth did you choose to do this in the hottest month of the year?
Because it's my birthday.
Purely that?
Yeah, it's just a birthday present.
Yeah. It should have been. If you'd have been born in September or October, it would have been a lot
Probably would have
more
been,
manageable.
Yeah, probably would have.
You're going to encounter some...
But,
you're going to lose
I don't dislike heat. It don't. I'm used to that. I mean, I've run in deserts.
Yeah, tell us about that, this desert run that you did.
Well, the last one I did was Sahara Desert. It's a 100-kilometre race. It proved to be like every time whatever I do, there's always something kicks itself up. And this particular one, 5 kilometres into the race, we encountered a massive sandstorm. And you know when they say you can't see hand in front of your face, you can't. Not when that sand's coming at you. It's like you're being ripped apart. It's just like you put you up against a wall and you're sandblasting you.
You can't keep your eyes open anyway.
Well, you can because you're wearing right gear. I got my Harley Davidson goggles on, buffs around my face. Even though it still gets in.
You carry on?
And
well, do you know where you're going?
Well, here again, this is where your senses have to come in, because by that time, this string of the athletes, we'd just sort of, the ones in front of me had gone off like rabbits. Yeah. I was leaving some of the athletes behind me, so you're like on your own, and you just have to rely on your senses. Yeah. That. In reality, nobody's going to get lost really. If it's frightening to a degree, because when the sands stop bolting at you, everything's changed. So what you thought you're running on, like heavy sand, is now like bedrock. Well, I didn't realise we were actually running on an old Bedouin trail.
Right. Yeah.
And unbeknown to me, I'm running like rocks, And I ended up stubbing my big toe and breaking my big toe.
Did you? Knowing
It's
you carried on.
incredible.
You carried on.
Well, yeah, you learn how to run across instead of bending my toe that way.
Yeah. Are you now? So you've now got a month. What are we? We are the 2nd of June, aren't we?
Yeah.
Today. So you've got exactly a month between now and the first of these marathons on 2nd of July. What's the plan then?
Well, the plan is now to remain healthy. I have backed off on my training, and that's because I've got some hamstring issues. The good news is that they're both the same.
Right, so balanced.
Which means that I'm running balanced.
Yeah.
It means that I'm not favouring anything, so I'm not going to likely to pick up another injury. So from a lot of my training involves twice a day training, which is quite easy when you're retired. So this and some of the other things that I've done have been more achievable since I've retired, because I can train, I suppose, a bit like a professional athlete.
What do your family say about? What does your wife say? And your kids?
I think they're proud of me. I
should blooming well think they are. But what do they say about this one? I mean, it's not just going out running a marathon.
Well,
is it? I mean,
when it was sort of announced, it was just head shaking and oh my God, now what?
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff I can't do without my wife.
Is she a runner?
She has, yes, she has been, and even now she frequents gym 2-3 times a week.
Right.
She understands what I need to do. I can't think for a minute that it's easy for her, because like we don't half take them for granted, don't we?
We certainly do, yes, we absolutely
And for
do.
me, like if you can imagine training twice a day, I'm coming home with sweaty, muddy, stinking clothes.
And this is normal. This is every day.
Gets chucked in washer, and there's always clean clothes for me to put on.
And if you're anything like me, though, I mean, and I've only gone out for 6 miles, I collapse in a chair, fall asleep.
Well, no,
Do you do that?
No, I don't. No. I tell you what I do, I love painting. I've done quite a few paintings, and actually I've sold quite a few.
That's your next project then. 75 marathons, 75 days while painting at the same time. Somehow, with somebody running alongside.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. And then of course,
dear, don't do it.
No.
Well, Ray, thank you so much for coming in, and it's illuminating. I'm absolutely full of admiration for you, as I'm sure everybody that's watching now is, and wishing you the very best of luck for this incredible feat that you're going to attempt. Well, I'm going to say the word attempt. You don't use the word attempt.
No, I don't. No.
That you're going to do. So do support Ray Matthews, and anyway, watch out for him all over the area from July the 2nd onwards, running 75 marathons in 75 days to celebrate and reward himself for reaching 75 years of age, all in aid of Newman School at Wiston in Rotherham. He's going to raise £75,000. Good on you. Well done.
Thank
you.
you.
I wish you all the very best. Meantime, we'll see you next week. Repeat at 11 p.m. Look at my YouTube channel. Thanks. See you. Bye.